Hey, I'm Jess Hugo, personal trainer and nutritionist, and I am here to show you that life is messy, but we're doing it anyway. Welcome to Doing It Anyway, the podcast for building the life that you want without burning out. Let's get into it. Before we jump into the episode, I just wanted to share something with you. I just launched my 12-week photo shoot ready challenge, which if you don't know what it is, it's going to be 12 weeks of coaching and a photo shoot at the end. I feel like you're on this episode for a reason, right? You're looking for aligned friendships, you're looking for higher standards, and you're wanting to surround yourself with new people that actually bring the vibes up, good experiences, and I think that is going to be the photo shoot for you. It's very much, you're going to get the coaching, but you're also going to get the photo shoot day. I'm talking professional makeup, professional studio, professional freaking photographer. I've got it all planned out for you. I'm going to be there. We're going to bring the vibes. It is going to be so much fun. If you're wanting more details, I've linked it below in the show notes, and I would love to see you there. Sometimes I question if I have really high and maybe unrealistic standards. And I think it's just like the older I get, the higher my standards become. And I've literally had this conversation with so many people before. You just like go and you get a service and you just have a bad experience. And then you kind of question yourself and you were like, are my standards too high? Like, am I expecting too much? But I also think equally, like, why have we lowered the bar so much that like going anywhere, you get the shittest experience ever? And also like, God forbid a girl has standards. Like, God forbid we hold ourselves to a higher level. And I think it really displays in so many areas of our lives, right? If we have lower standards, if we have lower self-esteem, and mind you, like, you go through seasons, right? There's seasons where something fucked up might happen. You're going to feel a bit shit, and then you're already quite vulnerable, and then you might meet someone, and you know the pattern. If you know, you know. But I think if we're not holding high standards to experiences in our life, then we're not holding those high standards to friendships, relationships. So like, this is really like what I actually look for in friendships and relationships, especially now in 2026, where I've just like really gotten to the point almost in my mid-20s where I'm like, I know what I want, I know what I don't want. And honestly, as much as I give people the chance, as soon as they're giving me the ick, I'm like, boot. And it's about holding them to the higher expectations. And I've just like realized I'm so much pickier now about who I kind of let into my life. And it's not even this thing of like, I think I'm better than anyone, but it's because I know how much the people around you really influence your happiness, your habits, and literally your stress levels. Like, your environment is so important. And I've talked about this with so many girls recently. Like, the reason you're feeling like shit is because you're surrounding yourself with people that make you feel shit, people that don't uplift you, people that question things, people that only check in on you when they want something. And it's really frustrating to be constantly surrounded by those people, because you're like, does anyone even care about me? Does anyone even like want to know what's going on in my life? And equally in this, I really want you to think in this reflection point, like, where am I being a bit of a shit friend? Because I think as well, we can have high standards and still be a bit of a shit friend where we make plans and constantly bail on them. We talk bad about people behind their backs and stuff. So I really just want you to have like a reflective moment, but this is also just so much chatty vibes. Like, I'm going to be talking about probably the most random things ever, but I love a little chatty episode, and I know you girls too, but do too. So anyway, it's funny because when I was younger, I actually thought like, just being friends with everyone was the vibe. And I was like, yeah, I just want to include everyone and I want to be friends with everyone. And like, you very much can include everyone and not have to be like best friends with everyone. And you can really just find your people within that group. And even like this year, meeting new people and things like that, I'm like, okay, I don't vibe with that person as much, but it doesn't mean anything. I probably just naturally gravitate to this personality more, and it's actually okay. So let's start with communication, because I genuinely cannot deal with people who expect you to just like read between the lines. Honestly, say what you mean. Communicate what you want. And I always open the door for people as well. I'm like, I'm thinking of doing this. Would you like to come? Like, no pressure, let me know, whatever, because I almost want to give you an out to communicate. And then if you just beat around the bush, oh, I don't really know, it's actually exhausting. I can't be bothered. That's not the vibe. Say what you actually mean, say what you're feeling. If something's upset you, speak about it, tell me, tell the person. I just think it's like really getting out of this way of like expecting people to guess. And I feel like we've almost like been brought up that way, right? Like thinking about, you're like mad at your partner, but you like don't tell them why, and you want them to like figure it out themselves. And you see a lot of that stuff on socials and movies and things like that. So we've kind of been brought up in a way of like, that's the norm. Or even thinking about like family dynamics, like your mum might be mad at your dad and then she's like to you, yeah, like I'm not talking to him, like I'm ignoring him. We really get shown this kind of like silent treatment game, but like conflict that's healthy is actually healthy. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather have a bit of an awkward conversation and really like figure it out in the moment than have 6 months of passive aggression where we're just beating around the bush. And like this even shows up in coaching, right? If you're not happy with something, like whether this is your workplace, whether this is your coach, whether this is friendships, like, you know what I mean? But I see it a lot. Like if you're not happy with something or, you know, you're questioning something, don't feel bad for questioning it. You are so free to be like, I don't understand why I'm doing this. Can we just talk about it? You know what I mean? Like, and then we can have that conversation. And there's a difference between asking someone directly and going like behind their back. So sometimes I'll get DMs saying, my coach like does this and this, and I don't feel like it's right. And I'm like, I don't really know your coach. So I don't really want to talk about your coach and stuff like that. But I really highly urge you to have a conversation, because coming to me and finding something out is like going to conflict everything that your coach said and like contradict with everything anyway. And I actually saw it the other day on Facebook, just unrelated, in a group. This girl posted and was like, oh, I'm trying to lose like X amount of weight. I'm on this like deficit. I've done it for this many weeks. I've only lost this much, blah, 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 blah. I have a PT, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I literally commented and I was like, this is a conversation to have with your PT. Reading all these comments from randoms on Facebook that probably aren't qualified, who probably are trying to sell their own service because it's a dog eat dog world, are just going to give you whatever advice to try to get you to jump ship, which that's so disrespectful to your coach. They have no idea that you've just posted this online. And I think it's really, really important to go have that conversation with them and just tell them how you're feeling, because you should be able to communicate with your coach. You shouldn't be stressing about like having that conversation. You know what I mean? Like it should be a dynamic where you can have that conversation. And that's what I try to make mine like, where girls can do, like my actual clients, not just girls in my DMs, because I will turn you away and say, love you, but go have a conversation. But my actual clients, if they're like, oh, can you explain this to me? Why are we doing this? Whatever. Good. I want to have a chat. And most of the time I do obviously explain it to them first. Like if I ever make changes and whatever, I'll be like, we're doing this because of this. My dog is sitting on my lap, guys, and she's like literally trying to take the whole seat. Lexi. Oh, she's such a menace. I'm putting her down, but no cuts. There we go. Yeah, I don't want to talk about coaching a bunch, but I just think it's really, really important to just be like, why are we doing this? Or even like, if your friends are organizing plans and stuff like that and they haven't really considered the fact that you live really far away and all of these things, just ask. Instead of like getting mad that they've like created a plan so far away, just be like, hey, can we meet in the middle? It's really not that hard to organize it that way, but you're getting passive aggressive and angry because you haven't actually brought it up to them, and then it like fuels the fire. So I just think so many problems could be fixed with communication. And I think it's really, really important when I'm thinking about friendships. Are they someone that look after themselves? That is so important to me. And when I say look after themselves, it doesn't necessarily mean get in the gym, but do they have a hobby outside of work and their relationship? Do they have something that they're passionate about and they look forward to that kind of like lights them up, that they would love to, like, they could talk about for hours and hours and hours? And it doesn't mean need to be in the gym 6 days a week. I don't care about that, but I do care about if they respect themselves enough to fuel their body appropriately, making sure they're eating enough, not too much, not too little, getting good micronutrients in, but still having that flexibility to get drinks with the girls, eat a sweet treat, all of the things. Like, I think it's really important because moving your body is so good for your mental health. I feel like we all know this, but then we won't do it. And then what, like, think of that friend who they're refusing to do all of the things. And if you're this girl, I see you, just hear me out. Refusing to do all of the things. You don't want to go for walks. You don't want to move your body. You're just feeling really shit. You've been eating kind of shitty because you're just feeling down in the dumps. So you're just eating random like snacky things, and it's really affecting everything. How can you show up for yourself or for your friends when you can't even show up for yourself, right? And it's like not about putting your friends before yourself, but it's really about thinking about, okay, I'm not showing up for me. No one's now checking in on me because I'm ghosting everyone. Like, what can I actually do here? And I think it's really, really important. Eating food that makes you feel really good, making sure you're getting enough sleep, going to appointments, booking those appointments, whether they're actually like psychologists, whatever, or just booking an appointment to make yourself feel a little bit better. An eyebrow wax, a nail appointment, a facial, like whatever it may be, something that actually goes that extra mile to look after yourself within reason. Am I saying book a massage and facial every single week? No, I literally don't do that. But really just making sure you do something for yourself, even if that looks like sitting outside and getting in the sun. Really, really attractive when someone takes responsibility for themselves. And I think as well, a lot of us are on the dating scene and we're thinking about like, oh, like I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that. Well, how are you showing up? Are you showing up to that top level that's going to attract that type of person? Because if you want someone who, you know, goes to the gym, eats really well, has great balance, is really positive, really like strong mental health, you know what I mean? All of those things, you need to be bringing that to the party as well, because like attracts like, right? Next, really keeping promises to themselves. This kind of ties into the other one, but it goes beyond health. Like if someone constantly says they're going to do something and never follows through, I eventually stop believing them. And it's like, I'm not saying, when you're trying really hard to work on something and you're actually actively trying, but it's not kind of like coming to fruition, not discussing that. I'm talking about people that will be like, yep, I'm going to start running, never start running. Yep, I'm going to start next week, doesn't. Oh yeah, I bought new shoes for running, so I'm going to run. Still doesn't. You will do every little thing, but actually take action of the thing. Why don't you actually prove to me first that you want to start running and run with the shitty shoes you have? Why don't you actually go on 4 runs in the next fortnight, so 2 a week, then get new shoes? Actually prove to yourself you're going to do the thing, because buying the shoes isn't going to make you do the thing, right? Or like, yep, I'm going to start doing 20 minutes of journaling a day. It's hard. It is hard. You sit there, you're like picking apart your brain. You have so much to say. 20 minutes can feel like a really long time to be like fully locked in on writing all your thoughts and feelings. Your hand starts hurting when you're writing it down, but do it. Don't be the person that never follows through and then complains about like how shitty everything feels. And I really think that's what I think about as well. If I have friends that are complaining about XYZ, I'm like, have you actually like sat down and written a bit of a list, figured out like brain dumped how you're actually feeling about things? And like, don't get me wrong, I love a little rant, I love a little chat, but if it's the same topic over and over and over again and you haven't taken on any of the advice, like what are you doing? Next, solution focused. We have hard weeks. We all have hard weeks, but I definitely feel like there are friends that just are constantly in victim mode, and it brings you down, right? Think about that friend who is constantly like victim complex. Oh, my life sucks. This sucks. This sucks. I think I know we all deal with so many different things day to day, but we actually just keep showing up and moving through it regardless. And I think it's really, really important. If you're thinking right now, how many times have you complained about the one thing in the last like fortnight? Because let's be real, we all have really hard weeks. We all, have struggle street moments, but also it's like, what's the difference between, are you struggling right now and you're bringing it up tenfold, or are you just refusing to help yourself? I feel like it's really, really important to differentiate the two, because I love when people come to me with problems. I love to give my opinion. I'm an opinionated girl, but it's what are we going to do about it? Not let's keep bringing up the same topic 15 times and never do anything about it. I hope I'm not being too harsh. Why am I questioning everything? I'm like, girl, you're being so mean. But I also think if you're resonating, if you're like, this is me, it's a great realization to have. It's really just holding that higher expectation. If you're someone that's been going through like some friendship movements at the moment and you're feeling guilty, I feel like it really solidifies like you're making a good decision. This is like what to look for. And also, you don't actually need to agree with me. Like you could look for different things. This is just what I look for in like friendships and relationships. And doesn't mean I cut you off if you're not like doing all of these things. No, but I just think it's really, really important. Okay, next, friends that celebrate your wins. This is a huge one. The older I get, the more I notice how people kind of react when something good happens to you. And I just think I have genuine excitement. Like when I think about my friends achieving things, even if I'm competing against them, even if I'm working for the same thing, I genuinely don't think, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't get it or I didn't achieve the thing. I think, oh my God, like they are such an inspiration. They are so cool. Like I'm so proud of them, all of the things. Even if they're doing tenfold what I'm doing, even if it's got nothing to do with me or directly the exact thing I'm doing, I am so excited for them. And I just have genuine excitement for them. I don't feel any competition. I don't feel the need to make any subtle digs. I'm celebrating them, and I'm feeling like I want to share the news. Like I'm literally posting on my story. I'm letting you guys all know like this friend like achieved this, you know what I mean? And it's a really big deal to me, but I actually think as well, you see more and more people get really jealous and weird about your achievements, even if they're not directly even trying to achieve those things. So that is weird because it doesn't even make sense. It's like you didn't even want to work towards this. So I don't know why you care that I'm achieving this. But everyone talks a lot about tall poppy syndrome. And I feel mixed on it. I feel like Australia kind of struggles to see people succeed because I think a lot of Australians are stuck in the mindset of like, oh, you should have to actually go to work. You shouldn't be able to work from home, and you shouldn't be able to just get paid for posting videos and stuff like that. That's like how a lot of people think, unfortunately. So they're almost like can't handle the way it's all changed. I've always been of the opinion that like TikTok, social media isn't going anywhere. Remember a few years ago how everyone was like, it's going to die down after COVID. You're all going to lose your jobs. No, brands and UGC and creators is bigger than ever. And I don't really believe it's going anywhere. So I do think that sometimes people can get really worked up thinking like, oh, why Sofa Dofa? Like away every second week and living her best life just because she posted a stupid corset. Like, you could have posted a stupid corset. And I also think remembering that not everyone has that goal of posting online and stuff as well, but there are a lot of people that do. And I have a lot of conversations with people who really want to post, even on their stories, not even a like public TikTok, but a private story on their Instagram, and they don't have the confidence to. I know girls that delete their Instagrams all the time, overthinking everything, stare at the same photo for 10 hours straight. And if this is you, like, I see you in this, you're not wrong for this, but it's like, there is so much you need to work through, and it's so obvious that you're kind of projecting on that if that is you, right? Because I probably was the same, right? I used to hate being in photos 20 kilos ago. I'd question everything. I'd edit my photos, like clear my, like, I wouldn't actually edit my body, guys. I would like clear my like acne or whatever. I'd make sure that like everything was perfect. I would like really curate what I was posting. Nowadays, I just post whatever I want. Nothing is edited, not even like my skin. I don't have any editing apps. I just put out whatever. And if people have a problem with me, it's one-sided because I wouldn't even know. I just post TikToks for fun. And I'm pretty sure I shared this with you girls, but where someone recently was like, oh, you're always all over my feed. Like, you post so much. And I was like, God forbid a girl is running a successful business and, you know, her marketing is doing its thing. Like, God forbid people are interested in working with me. And you know what? The reason I post so much is because I have so many ideas, because I talk to so many of you all the time. Like, I have such a creative brain, I can't help it. And the fact that people don't want to celebrate you, like, as soon as she said that, honestly, it's been like rocky ever since. I'm like, ugh, like, honestly, was she the inspo for this episode? Maybe. But I just think, like, shut your fucking mouth. Literally, what did you get out of saying that? And I think that's really important as well. You're not celebrating me, and you went the extra mile to say something bitchy, and now I'm actually just not really interested in talking to you. And I think she knows. I think she knows because I'm polite to her, of course. I'm not rude, but I don't go out of my way to talk to her, and I definitely just don't care for what she has to say. So if she's speaking to like the group of us, I don't really fucking care. And I'm not adding. She's disrespectful. Honestly, she talks over people all the time. Whatever. Anyway, I'm just like, I can't be bothered with you. At that point, there's no point of even communicating with her, because some people just never change, but it's your decision to actually just remove yourself, and you don't need to make a big fucking deal with this girl. Like, we weren't close at all, so it didn't matter. It wasn't a conversation that needed to be had. But I think, like I said before, your environment really matters, and you saying that type of shit is like not helpful for anyone, and I just think it's ridiculous. So next thing I kind of look for in friendships and relationships and all the things is like, do they have goals? And when I say goals, it doesn't need to be career goals. It doesn't need to be like a weight loss goal. It doesn't need to be anything. It could be something so random, but just something they're excited about. Learning a new language, starting a business, maybe running a marathon, buying a dog. Like, I know that's so random and so basic, but I just like love when people are like actively working towards something. And I have an episode with Tiana coming out soon. I'm excited, but we're talking about money and like how to actually like invest your money and save your money and all of the things. I'm just a caveat to this, but like, I think it's really cool to actively work towards saving for something, but not make it your whole life. So that's why, I mean, if a lot of you are probably thinking like, I'm trying to save for a house, or I'm trying to save for like a wedding or whatever it may be, I think it's really cool to have something just little and random that you're saving towards as well. Even if it's like building up your little like investment beauty budget, like, oh, this is how much I'm putting in each week to build up so I can get like a facial, so I can get, I don't know, my nails done, like whatever you value. I think it's really important to like look towards that. Like, I remember for my cavoodle, Lexi, who was on my lap before, I was like, I really want this dog. They're like $5,000. They were like $7,000 or $8,000 in COVID, and I really wanted it then. And I was like, oh, that is like a lot of money. Like, so I never got her in COVID and stuff. But you can actively save for something like that. And why is it embarrassing to be like, oh, my goal is to like purchase my own dog? Is that embarrassing? Not to me. Next thing I look for is like people that just make your life feel lighter. I feel like this is like the biggest takeaway. I've realized like the people closest to me don't drain me. And the other day I was feeling a little bit drained, and then I was going to see one of my friends like right after that. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to feel way better once I see her. And I did. And I think it's really important thinking about like what type of person you are and how you kind of, what energy you kind of bring to a room. Are you bringing a room down? Are you draining the energy in the room? And that doesn't mean you have to come in and be super extroverted and super like ADHD. Like, you don't have to be that way. But I think it's really important to see like how your body language is, how you're actually like interacting in a room and stuff like that, and really like trying to be just like chill. And sometimes I will go to things and I'm like a little bit socially drained already getting there, so I will be a bit on the quieter side, but you can still actively listen. You can still actively smile. You can still actively like engage and just leave conversations like with other people, them and you feeling really like inspired and motivated and happy, not exhausted and thinking, fuck, like what a drag, so sick of talking to Jess. And I think we spend so much time talking about like whether people like us that we forget to actually ask whether we like the qualities that we bring into our and their lives, and like vice versa. And it's like, not everything is a transaction, right? I actually hate nothing more when people don't see the human behind like a business or whatever, and they think it's just so transactional. But I think it's really, really important to create those friendships and create those bonds and see like how you can actually benefit my life. I think that is really, really important, especially nowadays. Let's be real, not a lot of us are friends with people from high school anymore. Not a lot of us have very like long-standing friendships. We've probably gone through different waves of like this friend did this and whatever the fuck. So now it's like really about like those quality friends. I only have like 3 really high quality friends at this point, and I'm like, but they're the best. And it doesn't have to be, these standards they're not money, they're not status, they're not appearance. They're literally all about character for me. Can we communicate properly? Like, do you actually look after yourself and care for yourself? And are you growing and celebrating other people and working towards things? Like, do I actually like spending time with you, and do you fill my cup? And I like, those are the things I value. Funnily enough, it has nothing to do at all with what job you have, how much money you have, how you look, how your hair looks, how your teeth look. It has nothing to do with any of those things. Like, I really find value through characteristics. And it's like, by the way, this is like not a checklist. I expect everyone else to kind of just meet yourself where you're at while I do kind of like whatever I want, right? Like, just think, these are the things I'm going to think about. These are qualities that I'm going to work on, because I want to be the kind of like friend, partner, person that like just brings these things to other people's lives, you know what I mean? So I really want you to have a bit of a reflection piece of like, how can I actually hold higher standards? How can I hold myself to higher standards? And mine's even little things of like, where can I like pick up in my day to day? So for example, right now my room is so messy. That is so low standard of me, but I just have like things in piles. I just have clothes everywhere. I have a few things coming up in my life that I'm like planning different things for. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, like, it is a mess. I'm like, Jess, it will literally take you 10 minutes to go clean it up. You can actually clean it up and hold yourself to that higher standard. Even if I have like, sometimes I'll leave like a wrapper on my desk. I'm like, you could have walked it across to like the bin. Like, you walked past the bin to get out the door. Like, why did you not take the wrapper with you and stuff like that? So it's like really like calling yourself out on things as well. My toxic trait as well, I'm really just exposing myself. I always leave the gym like a bit of a mess. Like on Tuesday nights when I wrap up, I have to leave the house within like 20 minutes. So everything's chaos. I leave it all there. Wednesday morning I walk in, I'm like, oh fuck, like there's shit everywhere and I've got to clean it all and stuff like that. And admittedly, I did just train and left the gym a mess. But I will go down there later and clean it back up. It's just little things like that in your day-to-day life, in your friendships, all of the things. But I really want you to think right now, have you checked in with your friends recently? And don't make it a thing of like you're checking in because you want something from them, like a genuine check-in. How have your communication and conversations been going, even with your coach? I have this conversation with a lot of my girls. They're like, I'm very avoidant. I'm like scared to come in and say these things because it like essentially calls yourself out. How can we actually work on this? How can we actually get in journaling and really figure out why we're being so avoidant? Like, where does that stem from? And like, sometimes this requires like a lot of work, guys. I'm not going to lie. But do you want to do the work now and spend time in it now? Or do you want to be like 10 years down the track and still being avoidant, still using the same excuses and still be in the same place, stuck around the same people or no people and feeling really, really lonely? So would love you to have a conversation with yourself, talk to yourself, jot it all down. And if you need any help, of course, my DMs are open. I love chatting back and forth about yourself. I'm not going to talk shit about a coach, but I am happy to talk about yourself. So let me know if you have any questions, jump into my DMs and I'll catch you in the next one. And that is a wrap on another episode of Doing It Anyway. If you enjoyed today's episode, I would love for you to rate it 5 stars, share it with your friends, share it on your stories. And if you have any feedback, I would love to hear it. Please shoot me a DM on Instagram. All my links are below. See you in the next episode.